Hello, I'm Jennie Rayment and I'm here to present Easy Rulers. These are made by Easy Quilting and the rulers are the most important thing you will need in your patchwork career because you've got to cut your fabric straight. Now there are several rulers. There is the Big Daddy, which is 24 inches long by 6.5 inches wide. There is a smaller one, and this is great if you've not got quite so much space. It's the same 6.5 inches wide, but it's 13 inches long. Then there is a considerably smaller one. This is great for craft use, and this is also a lefty-righty enabled one. In fact, all the rulers are lefty-righty, but this one is specifically. You use the red numbers on one side and the black on the other. Finally, there is the same thing that's just the Easy Rule Junior, a 3.5 inch ruler by 9.5 inches. So all of the rulers are the main things you will need if you are going to begin patchwork and quilting. There is one other ruler that I find particularly important, and this is something called the draft and cut. And the reason why this ruler is so good is you can use it exactly as any rotary cutting ruler, i.e. it's made with a 6mm acrylic plastic there, so it's nice and easy to cut along. But this one is great if you're going to do any designing and you want to draw your own templates and get things absolutely accurate. So those are your rulers. If you're going to begin cutting, any of the rulers will suffice. I'm going to use my Big Daddy, this one, the big long 24-inch one. To actually cut fabric, you'll need a piece of material. Now, when it comes to cutting fabric, for more information on things like fat and thin quarters, a thin quarter, for those of you who'd like to know briefly, is a piece of fabric that's cut right the way across the material, that is usually 9 inches or possibly 20 centimetres, 25 centimetres, sorry, deep by the full width of the material. Or there is something called a fat quarter, which is half a yard, half a metre. So it will be either 18 inches down the side or maybe 50 centimetres by half the width of fabric. When beginning cutting, if you fold your fabric over, line up the selvages, bring the centre fold to line up with the selvages again, smooth it, put the ruler on top, lining up the lines on the ruler on the fabric. Now this is how you would cut with any of the rulers, be it the draft and cut, be it the little one, be it the medium-sized one. They all work in exactly the same way. If you wish to steady your ruler, using the tool handle will in fact give you better grasp on the ruler, and this can be stuck onto any of the rulers. Simply push it down and it will hold in place and keep your ruler nice and still for you. So if you bring your ruler to the edge of the fabric, rotary cutter. There are several rotary cutters you can have. This is the average one, the middle one. There are two others. There's a baby one, which is a 28mm one. There is the Big Daddy, which is the 60mm one. And there is the one in the middle, which is 45. All of these will have a replacement blade available for you. And there we have the 3 different sizes of blades. So to use the ruler, and if you're right-handed, bring the ruler to the edge of the fabric, slide the rotary cutter up the edge, remembering the second you finish to put the guard on the cutter. Discard that small scrap of material. Now, as I'm right-handed, I will turn the fabric round and I'm going to bring the ruler in from the left-hand side. And suppose I want, say, a 2-inch strip. The 2-inch line on the ruler lines up with the edge of the fabric, guard off my cutter and cut. And there I have a totally perfect 2-inch wide strip of fabric. If I want a larger strip, I simply bring the ruler in further. If I want a bigger strip still, then I can use the cutting mat and pull my fabric right to the very edge of the cutting mat, keep the raw, neat edge on the 0 line of the cutting mat, place my ruler. So for 12 inches, I could put my ruler there and cut. Now that's for right-handed people. If you are left-handed, once you have trimmed the edge off, and you'll be trimming the edge off like this, then to actually measure, all you will need to do is bring the ruler, turn the fabric round, so the fabric is here. The ruler will come in from the right-hand side. Simply swing the ruler round, put it so that the 2-inch line is on the edge of the fabric, pick up the rotary cutter. These rotary cutters are lefty-righty enabled. You do not need to buy another cutter. Take the guard off the cutter and push firmly up the edge of the ruler and you will have a perfect cut. So the easy quilting rulers are absolutely the most important things that you will need in your patchwork set of tools. Rulers, either the big one, or maybe you want to have the medium-sized one, or maybe you want to go for craft the little ones. So you have choice of 2 small ones, and if you're going to be doing any drafting, or you just happen to want a ruler that is 18 inches long, the drafting cut will suffice. So there we have the easy quilting rulers.